Hey guys, so we are on day 5 of building an app in 7-day challenge and we are actually on track. So today we are going to design the edit bootcamp page and later on we are going to set the privacy rules. All right. This is going to be just a disclaimer. This is going to be a little long lesson, I feel, but let's keep a goal to finish this whole, setting this whole thing up in 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's keep that as a goal. All right. So let's look at the Figma file, what we have over here. So if you remember, we had already created a edit bootcamp page in day 2. So we are just going to make use of that page and we're going to customize it. All right. So this thing is pretty it's pretty simple. We just have the featured image, tagline, name, delete button over here. But down here, we have created different subsections. All right. Now you must be thinking like, so why didn't you use all the elements in one section itself? That's not a good I won't suggest doing that because it's going to increase the page length, right? And it's a bad user experience, just to keep that in mind. So that's why I created different subsections: overview, tools, agenda, team, inclusions. All right, so let's start working on this. So let's first see. We have built this before. This is going to be 24 bold, and then we have tagline. All right, so let's head back to Bubble Editor. Make sure you are using the page that we created, Edit Bootcamp. All right, let's just get rid of this. Let's call this, let's set the page title as the current page bootcamp name. All right, layout. Let's make this 2000 because we do need 2000, we do need some space to work with. Now over here we are going to drop a group. All right, and let's call this group container. All right, where is this group? Anyway, make sure you change the container alignment to be top aligned, and I think here we have group container. So min width is going to be 0, max width is going to be 1200, and we are going to center this. Min height is going to be 0. Let's uncheck this and let's add a padding of 32 all around the edges. All right, there we go. Now let's drop a text field over here. This is going to be current page bootcamp name, and this is going to be 24 bold. Click on layout, min width 0, min height 0. All right, now let's add one more text. This is going to be current page bootcamp's tagline. Where are you, my friend? There he is. Font color is going to be our secondary text color. Min width 0, min height 0 as well. Let's group these two together. Before that, select group container and let's add a row gap of 32. All right. Let's change this over here. Okay. Let's select these two. Right click, group elements into a column container with a row gap of 12. Let's call this group inner title. All right. Now let's drop a button over here. This is going to be delete and this is going to be a ghost button. And let's make this, let's uncheck fixed width. Min width is going to be 0. Let's make it fit width to content. Height is going to be 40. Now let's group these two elements into a row container. And this is going to be title. Min height 0. Let me just check height for this. Yeah, I knew it. Let's center this. It's okay, we can keep this on top. Let's select group title, apply row gap space. Row gap is going to be 12, column gap is going to be 24, and container alignment is going to be space between. There we go. Now let's drop an image icon over here. This is going to be featured image. Again, dynamic data. Current page, bootcamps, featured image, process with images. Check this box. Zoom, click on layout, keep element aspect ratio fix, way too big. Let's make this 4 by 2. Yeah, 4 by 2 looks good. And let's add a roundness of, let's go with 6. All right, we do have some space over here, down here. Now, let's add one more button over here. Let's call this button overview, and let's detach this. All right, let's detach this, and font color is going to be our secondary gray color. Background color is going to be white, and yeah, so this is going to be overview. All right, actually let me check what's the width overall. It's 100. Yeah, 100 looks fine. So let's make this 100. Actually, uncheck fixed width. Max width is going to be 100. All right, now let's copy and paste this. This one is going to be tools, if I'm not wrong. Tools agenda team. All right, let's rename this. You can make use of groups as well, but I'm just going to use buttons over here. Agenda team, button team, and lastly we have inclusions. There we go. Now let's see, we have grouped them into a row and with a gap of 6. So let's group these all into a row container with a column gap of 6. And let's also add a row gap of 6. Let's call this sections. Min height is going to be 0. There we go. All right. Now let's drop another group. This one, let's make this last. This one is going to be group overview, min height 0, min width 0. Uncheck this because we need some room to work with. All right, we are gonna set this as row because if you check over here, these all right, let's set this as column. Okay, now let's do the same thing over here. I'm just going to copy group inner title, paste this in group overview, and we're going to change this to 20, and this is going to be course overview. Oh, bootcamp overview. My bad. So let's change this to bootcamp overview. All right. Now let's add a row gap over here. So let me see what's the row gap. It's 16. All right. So let's add a row gap of 16 over here. Now let's head back to our index page. We're going to make use of this group over here. Copy this. Select group overview. paste this. This is going to be bootcamp name, and over here I'm just going to change the placeholder. There is no, I mean, it doesn't matter because it's going to have the name of the current page, bootcamp name. There we go. I'm going to copy and paste this again, and this one is bootcamp price. So let's change this bootcamp price. This over here is going to be price, but we are going to change this to currency. There we go. Now let's group these two together. All right, yeah, right click, group them into a row container, and let's add a column gap of 16. Let's also add 16 over here. Let's call this row 1. Let's get rid of min height as well. We're going to copy and paste this again. This is going to be enrollment type. Enrollment type. And the input type is going to be drop down. So just put drop down. Enrollment type. Click on layout and check this. Fix it. Height is going to be 40. Roundness is going to be 6. Back border color is going to be our border color. Let's get rid of this. Dynamic choice. Type of choice is going to be enrollment type. All enrollment type. Current options. Display. This one is going to be duration. Duration. So let's call this as 3 weeks, 5 weeks. Let's get rid of this as well. This is going to be a text. Let's copy and paste this again, and let's name this as row 2. This is going to be row 3. We have location type. So again, location type, and over here type of choice is going to be location type. All location type. That's it. Location type. Let me just check. Let's name this. Actually, it's okay. No need of naming them because we are going to auto binding. We're going to do auto binding. I'm going to get into that soon. Over here, this is going to be the URL. URL. Okay. URL and enter Zoom link. Just a minute. Okay. So here's what we can do actually over here. Click on layout. Make sure you selected this group, and let's uncheck this box, and we're going to set a condition which is going to be if current page bootcamps location type is online, then only this element is visible. All right, I'm going to copy this, select our group row 3, paste this again, And this over here is going to be location. All right. And over here is going to be enter location. And it's going to have the same thing, except we're just going to change the condition to be offline. So when it's offline, this is going to show up. All right. For online, so let's call this group location, and let's call this as group URL. All right. I'm just going to copy this and paste this over here, and let's call this as group row 4, which is going to be status and tagline. Status. Type of choice, bootcamp status, all bootcamp status. There we go. This one is going to be tagline. Enter tagline. But what I was thinking, let's just have 500 characters. I don't know. Yeah. Enter tagline. Looks good. What else do we have? Now we have the overview part. So for this, we're going to make use of rich text field. So for that, head over to plugin. Let's add new plugin. This is going to just search for rich text editor, and we are going to install this one, which has been developed by Bubble itself. There we go. Now we are going to drop. Okay, let's drop a group over here first. This is going to be overview. And inside this group, we are going to drop our rich text input. There we go. Click on layout. Min width 0. Height, let's make this 500. And let's get rid of this as well. Let's also add a border for this. Solid border with our border color with a roundness of 6. Looks good. There we go. So we are done with our group overview. Let's select this. Let's make this fit height to content. Let's check this box, collapse when hidden. And we're going to set a condition, which is going to be get data. Before that, let's first set that up. So when user clicks on this button, we're going to add a workflow. We had done this, guys. Edit bootcamp, current page bootcamp. V is equal to overview. So when get data from page URL, V is overview. Just copy this expression. When this condition is true, let's change the background color to be, what is the background color? Okay, this is going to be F2, F2, F2. And the font color is going to be black, if I'm not wrong. Yep. Right. Let's copy this expression, select group overview, paste this. This element is visible. Alright, so we are done with this. And let me just check. Collapse when hidden. Collapse when hidden. Alright. Now let's hide this group overview first. We are Group title, that's fine. Group sections, that's fine as well. Feature, group section, group overview. Let's hide this. Now let's drop one more group over here. Let's make this last, and this is going to be group tools. Same thing, min width 0, min height 0, and check. We need room to work over here. For this, let's head back to tools. All right. Uh, I'm just gonna bring up group overview because I just need this part. Actually, let's use this one. Let's just hide group overview. We don't need this. We just need this one because it has a button. So right click, copy, select group tools, paste. This is going to be add tools. This is going to be 20. Let's add the subtext as well. There we go. This thing is going to be add tools, and this is going to be primary. All right. Let's add a row gap of 24 over here. And we are going to add repeating group, which is going to be tools. Min width 0, min height 0. Let's make it fit height to content. We just need one column, but we don't know this. It's not going to be static. So the rows are going to be dynamic. So it's going to be 100%. 100. And now this is fine actually. Uh, Width over here is going to be 21 with color set as white. And let's also change the layout to be row. Okay. Now it's throwing us an error because we haven't set the type of content. Type of content over here is going to be tools. We are going to do a search for tools wherein bootcamp is equal to current page bootcamp. There we go. Now let's see how's the design. So we have image over here, name of the tool, and then the subtext. All right, so let's do this. Let me just check the size. It's 45. All right. So let's drop a image inside. This is going to be current cell tools, tool image, process with image X, zoom. This is going to be 45. Keep element aspect ratio fixed. Click on appearance, and let's make this round. All right. Do you want to keep? Should we keep? Okay. No. Let's not keep this round. Let's keep this as 6. And let's add a solid border with our border color. There we go. Now let's add a text element, and this is 18 semi bold. So this is going to be 18 semi bold. Current cell tool name. Click on layout, min width 0, min height 0. I'm just going to copy this, paste this over here, and this is going to be current cell tool. Okay, let's add one more field over here in our database. Head over to database, click on tools, and let's add a tool description. All right, and this is going to be text field. Let's head back, tool description. I'm going to group these two together into a column container with a row gap of 6, then height is going to be 0. Actually, let's make this 4. Now we are going to group these two together into a row container with a column gap of, let's go with 12. Let's see, is it 12 or 6? It's 12. And we have a padding of 12 all around the edges. All right. So first let's center these two element. Select our group tool row. Min height is going to be 0 and let's add padding of 12 all around the edges. Head over to appearance. Let's add a roundness of 6. Let's add a solid border with our gray. Looks good. This is 20. This is 18. Let's make this 16. All right. 45. 45. Perfect. Now I'm going to select our repeating group tools. Click on, let's get rid of this ugly border as well. Click on layout and let's make this fit height to content. There we go. Now let's set up a mechanism to add the tools. So we're going to create a pop-up. So if I scroll down over here, this is the pop-up that we are going to use for adding tools. Actually, there is no need of this one. Change button. All right. So let's quickly do this. I'm going to make this fit height to content as well. So let's drop a pop-up. This is going to be add tools. I'm going to set this as column. Let's make this 400, 600 as height. We do need some room to work with. 24, 24, 24 with a row gap of 24 as well. All right. Let's start setting this up. I'm just going to use this one, this group. Copy this. Let's bring up a pop-up. Paste this up. Damn. Copy this again. Let's try this out again. Now it's working. Let's make the row gap of 6 for this one. Now I'm just gonna head back to onboarding, bring up student, and I'm just gonna use this group. Again, head back to edit bootcamp, bring up pop-up, select pop-up add tools, paste this over here. This is going to be tool image, picture uploader, tool image. This over here is going to be tool name. So let's change this. Let's set this as tool name. This one is going to be tool description. Again, uncheck this. This is going to be text. Let's get rid of initial content, and this is going to be enter tools description. Input tool description. Let's get rid of this. Actually, let's use this, the multi-line one, instead of single line. So let's make this first. Let's get rid of this. Let's also get rid of this. All right, so this is going to be enter tools description tool description. There we go. Now let's add a button. Add. Click on layout and check fixed width. Min width is going to be 0. Min height is going to be 40. And select pop-up add tools. Min height is going to be 0. Alright. Now let's set the workflow for this. We are creating a new data which is going to be tool. Let's add all fields. Bootcamp is going to be current page bootcamp. Description is going to be multi-line tool description. Image is going to be picture uploader tool image value. And this one is going to be input tool names value. After doing this, we are going to make changes to a thing which is going to be our current page bootcamp, and over here we are going to add the tool to our list. Add result of step 1. All right, there we go. After this, we are going to reset inputs and then hide our pop-up. So we do need to bring up our pop-up. So for that, when user clicks on add tool, show the pop-up add tools. Now let's set the workflow for this. When user clicks on tool, tool, let's set condition, get data from page URL, v is tool, this is true, font color and background color. So background color is going to be F22, F2, 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 apologies. Font color is going to be our black color. Copy this, expression, select group tools. Let's uncheck this, check this, set a condition, paste the expression. When this is true, this element is visible. All right. Next, agenda. Similar. We're just going to replicate this. Copy. Let's hide this. And let's paste this over here. This is going to be copy group agenda. As of now, let's set this as agenda. Let's also set up the workflow. I'm just going to copy this, paste this over here. Agenda. There we go. Copy expression. Font color. Background color. Background color is going to be, you know this. All right. Agenda is done. Add agenda. Subtext is going to be this one. This one is going to be add agenda. Select this. If you're not able to find the repeating group, click in revealing tree elements and select repeating group tools. Let's call this as agenda. All right, there we go. And we are going to search for agenda. And type of content is going to be agenda again. Over here, this one is going to be, actually, let's get rid of this whole thing, the whole expression. It's going to be parent group. We forgot to set the data for the role. This is going to be agenda. So again, let's do the same thing. Current cell agenda. Now it's going to work. So this is going to be parent group agenda, tools, image, process with images. There we go. And let's make this circle. So we want whole circle, but the size is 32. All right. So let's make this 32 by 32. Perfect. And the text size is going to be 16. All right. So this is the one that we are going to be using. This is 16. So let's make this 16. Let's change this to black. Let's get rid of, let's actually copy this. Let's get rid of this whole group over here. Select group agenda row, paste this over here, center this, and let's insert dynamic data, which is going to be parent group agenda, agenda name. There we go. And let's also make this medium. All right. Looks good. Add agenda. Now let's see the pop-up for adding agenda. Pretty simple. Okay. So we are going to make use of the pop-up that we just created. So let's bring it up. Copy. Let's hide this. Paste it. Make sure you paste it on the page. Let's call this as add agenda. Again, over here, this is going to be add agenda. And this over here is going to be, instead of course, is going to be bootcamp schedule. We do not need image. We need tool name, but this is going to be a drop down field. So let's quickly select a drop down, drop it over here. Drop down tool. This is going to be a dynamic choice, which is going to be tools. We're going to do a search for tools, wherein the bootcamp is equal to current page bootcamp. And this is going to be bootcamp tool name. There we go. Click on layout and check this. Then width 0, height is going to be 40. Border is going to be our border color, around a 6. Let's get rid of this one. Actually, there was no need to get rid of that one, so just undo it and just drop it. Let's undo this again. And let's just copy this. Now let's get rid of this, and this over here is going to be agenda. Again, over here, enter agenda, input agenda name. Let's just go with week 1 learn prototyping. All right, 24. Now let's set this thing up. Let's add a workflow. Again, create a new thing. Agenda. Let's add our field. Agenda name is going to be input agenda names value. Bootcamp is going to be current page bootcamp. Tool is going to be drop down tools value. And after this, we are going to make changes to a thing which is going to be current page bootcamp. And we are going to add the agenda is going to be a result of step 1. After this, reset the input and hide our pop-up add agenda. Now let's set workflow to bring up the pop-up, which is pretty simple. All right. So let's first test this out. So for that, I wanted to head back to dashboard, bring up pop-up add bootcamp, click on next. Let's edit a workflow. We're creating this, hide pop-up, and here we are navigating the user to edit bootcamp, but here we're going to set a parameter which is going to be v is equal to overview. Now let's see if this works. If I click on bootcamp, click on edit, okay, and then set the edit bootcamp result of step 1 overview. That's weird. I mean, yeah, this thing is working, but overview. Let me check this. But I don't think so. It's going to work. I think we are having an issue. So let's refresh this. Let's go back again. Let's go back. Okay, let's test this out again. Ideally, this should work now. Let me just refresh this. It's not adding a parameter over here. Edit bootcamp. Destination. Go to page. Okay, we'll get back to this. Let's first set this whole thing up. All right. So you're halfway there. Agenda is done. Now let's add the team members. So for this, uh, let's head back to our edit bootcamp. Let's actually bring up group agenda. We are going to copy this, paste this over here again, and let's just hide this. Let's rename this as group team. All right. So let's make this as our team. We're going to use this subtext over here. Change this to add team, and let's just expand this whole group team. All right, because we need some room to work on. Let's select repeating group. Let's call this as repeating group team, and uh, let's make this a column of 3. All right, let's change this. That is group team. Let's call this group team card. Let's change the layout to be column. All right, let's make this first. Actually, let's make it 4 instead of 3. Let's make it 4. All right, over here the image, let's first set things up. Okay, so this is going to be team. We're going to search for team. There we go. Select group team card. Again, this is going to be team. Current cell team. Image. Let's uncheck this, and let's make roundness as let's keep it as 6. Let me just check over here It's 5 and this is going to be 10. All right. So let's keep this as 5. All right. And over here, let's get rid of this expression. And this is going to be parent group team members, avatar, process with images, zoom. Let's also add a row gap of, let's go with 12. All right. And this text is going to be 14 instead of 16. And this is going to be parent group team members, name. Let's copy this text and paste this over here. And this is going to be team members designation. But this is going to be 12. We're going to change the font color to this one, our secondary text color. And let's make this regular. There we go. Looks good. No issues, no errors. All right. So now let's set up the condition. I'm just going to copy this expression, paste this over here. This is going to be team. Select group team. Again, this is going to be team. Now let's add a workflow. Oh, I forgot to put the font color, background color. Background color is going to be F2, F2, F2. Font color is going to be our black color. All right. Now let's head back and let's add a workflow. But no, I'm just going to copy this for team. Paste this over here. And V is equal to team. Let's make sure that we have used team and not teams. Yep. Let me see. Team agenda tools. Perfect. Now let's add the pop-up as well. Where's the pop-up? There he is. Actually, let's use this one. Let's use this one. It has a drop down as well. Copy this, click outside, click on the page, paste. And this is going to be pop-up, add team. Let's change the text, add team. Let's check. It's instructor. All right. So let's stick to instructor. Add instructor. This is going to be add instructor, members, collaborators. All right. What else do we have? Just team member name, drop down. That's it. Team member name. And this is going to be user. And let's just get rid of this. And let's just do a search for user. Those who are active. All right. Equal to active. We don't need inactive users. And this is going to be current options, name. What's name? Yeah, there it is. No need of this. Let's set up a workflow for this, which is going to be create a new thing. We're going to create a new team. Bootcamp is going to be current page bootcamp. Team member is going to be, we forgot to change the name. Drop down. Let's call this instructor. Let's head back to workflow. Drop down instructor's value. After doing this, we already know this. Make changes to a thing. Current page bootcamp. We are going to select teams and we are going to add a result of step 1, reset inputs and hide our pop-up add team. Now we do need to bring this thing up. So let's bring up group team. Let's add workflow on this button. That is show pop-up add team. All right, let's test this out again. Instructor, I'm able to see. Let's also add a filter over here on pop-up add team. That is going to be user role is team member. There we go. And now I think it should only show Matthew. I also remember one thing. So head back to dashboard and let's add a workflow over here. So we are creating a new bootcamp and let's create a new thing which is going to be team. Bootcamp is going to be result of step 1. Team member is going to be current user. Let's make this as step 3. Let's add one more which is going to be make changes to a thing which is going to be a result of step 1, and we are going to add this thing. Where is it? Teams. Add a result of step 3, that is the team member, and let's make this as step 4. So step 1, we are creating bootcamp over here. Let's get rid of this. Then we are setting the slug. In third step, we are creating a new team member that is going to be the owner, basically the admin. All right, he's going to be added as a team member record. And in step 4, we are adding this team member record into our bootcamp list of team members. All right, and now inclusion. So let's head over to our Figma file and let's see what do we have over here for inclusions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, let's make the team member thing 5. I'm just going to hide this. Instead of 4, let's make 5 columns. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, 5 columns looks good. Select group team, click on layout, and let's make this fit height to content. All right. Let's hide this. Let's check how it is. So it's somewhat similar to agenda. All right. So we are just going to copy agenda over here. Let's pull this up. Right click, copy, select group container, right click, paste. Let's hide group agenda over here. And let's call this as group inclusion. All right. This is going to be add inclusions. Let's see, specify what's included in your bootcamp. Let's call this bootcamp package. All right. This is going to be add inclusion. All right. So let's select the repeating group. Let's call this as inclusion. Type of content is going to be inclusions. We're going to search for inclusions. There we go. Now over here, this is going to be, let's select the group agenda row and let's rename this to group inclusion row. Again, type of content is going to be inclusions. There we go. So this is going to be parent group inclusions, inclusion name. Pretty simple. Now head back to hero icons and check, click on solid and search for check circle. This is the one. Copy this, and in your group inclusion row, drop down solid icon, not the outline icon, solid icon. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's paste this over here. Let's center this as well, and let's make this 21 by 21. Let me just check what's the size of this. Yeah, it's 21, and the color is 148370. Just copy this, click on appearance, and let's paste this. There we go. Looks good. Looks good. So I'm just gonna do one more thing over here. This is going to be a home assignment for you. So we are going to work on this delete inclusion. So similarly, I wanted to work on the team members and agenda, as you can see over here. All right, pretty simple. I'm just going to drop an outline button over here, icon over here. Let's center this as well. This is going to be 21 by 21 again. And let's call this outline delete. Color is going to be our secondary color. And over here, let's make this last. Okay, now let's group these two together into a row container with a column gap of 12. Min height is going to be 0. And let's make this fit width to content. Damn. Select this text icon. Let's make this fit width to content. Select this group inclusion. Let's call this inner inclusion, and let's make this fit width to content. Select our group inclusion row, and over here we are going to use space between so that it's perfectly set apart. All right. Let's change this to was it delete? Let's search, click on outline, delete, trash. Copy this, paste this over here. There we go. Make sure you check this box. Head over to workflow. Let's create a workflow. When element outline icon is clicked, we just have one outline icon, so that's fine. So over here, we are going to make changes to a thing. All right. So no. We are going to actually delete a thing. The first thing that we're going to do is remove the inclusion from the current bootcamp. This isn't the one. Delete list of things. Type of thing is going to be inclusion. List to delete is going to be parent group inclusion. Yeah, it's going to be actually make changes to a thing. Sorry. So from here, we are going to select current page bootcamp. From here, we are going to select inclusion. And from here, we are going to remove the parent group inclusion. After this, we are going to delete the thing which is going to be parent group inclusion. There you go. Similarly, you have to set this thing up for teams, agenda, and tools in order to delete tools or agenda from the agenda list or teams. So first, we are going to remove that particular item from the list, and then we are going to delete it. All right. Now let's work on the conditions for this. So this is going to be get data from page URL where v is inclusion. I'm just going to copy this inclusion. I just hope I don't mess this up. So when this is true, the font color and the background color is going to change. So the font background color is going to be, come on guys, you know this, F2 three times. Font color is going to be our black. Copy this expression, select group inclusion over here. Let's get rid of this. You know what? Let's inclusion. Inclusion. Yeah. So let's set up the workflow for this as well. That is going to be navigate, edit bootcamp, cut page bootcamp, v is equal to include. Why does this happen? Inclusion. All right, let's test this out. All right, we do need to work on the pop-up for adding inclusion. So let's quickly work on that. So let's hide this. Let's use this one. Copy, select page, paste. This is going to be add inclusion. Again over here, this is going to be add inclusion. Let's check the pop-up over here. So this is the subtext. So let's quickly paste this over here. And it's just going to be a single line. So just inclusion and inclusion. I'm just going to name this as input inclusion name. All right. So when user clicks on add, we are going to create a new thing, which is going to be inclusion, add all fields. Bootcamp is going to be current page bootcamp. Inclusion name is going to be input inclusion names value. Reset. Oh no, we are going to make changes to a thing. I was testing you guys. Current page bootcamp. We are going to add the inclusion. Where is it? Yep. Add result of step 1, and now we are going to reset inputs and hide our pop-up add inclusion. We do need to bring it up, so for that let's add a workflow on this. That is going to be element action show pop-up add inclusion. All right, let's work on the issue that we faced before on the dashboard page. That was on the next button. All right, so I don't know why isn't working, but there is another way, but it's little complicated. So just make sure that you uncheck the add parameter thing. Let's head back to edit bootcamp, click on this, select button overview, and over here what we are going to do is, by default we are going to set this as active, and later on we're going to set few conditions. So font color is going to be black, background color is going to be f2 f2 f2. All right, let's also bring up group overview. So group overview by default, so this element is going to be visible on page load. All right, and this is fine. But here's what we are going to do. We are going to copy the expressions from each and every tabs. All right, so let's first work on this one. So when v value is tool, this element is not visible. So I'm just going to show you how this is going to work. Same goes for the overview, but over here, this is fine. But here's what we are going to do. When b is equal to tool, the color, let's add all the color. I'm just going to do this for tools. This is again a home assignment for you guys. Background color is going to be white. Font color is going to be our secondary gray. So here's what is going to happen, right? I'm just going to show you. Let me just go back to dashboard. And yeah, just add a back button over here. All right, just to simplify the whole thing. Yep. So now we are on dashboard. All right, I'm going to click on edit, and by default it's going to show me the overview section, right? But the moment I click on tools, it gets hidden. So similarly, in overview, you need to add conditions. So for overview tab button and for group overview, for these two, you have to add the conditions the way we did for all the tabs for tools, agenda, teams, inclusion. All right. Now we are going to set the privacy rules. So for that, we are going to make use of auto binding. For those who don't know, auto binding actually saves uh, your. Okay, I'm just going to simplify this. By auto binding, if for a use case, I'm just going to use Notion, right? So if you see over here, we do not have a save button, right? So whatever I type over here, it automatically gets saved in the backend. This is what auto binding is. So basically, it saves you from creating an extra workflow, right? So if you noticed, our edit bootcamp doesn't have a save button, all right? Because we are going to leverage auto binding. But in order to use auto binding, we need to set up privacy rules. So head over to privacy and let's create a privacy rule for bootcamp. Only for admin. I don't want team members to edit the bootcamp. All right. So let's create this over here. This is going to be this bootcamps. Creator is current user. Allow auto binding, and we are going to allow him to do everything. All right. There we go. And everyone else with default permission, they can view all the fields. If you want to, set few permissions on the field, you can click on this and you can, manually check. Okay, I just want my students to just look at this field, and this field should not be visible for them. So you can set it over here. But as of now, I want team members and students to see all the fields that are there on the bootcamp. All right, as of now, we're going to set this as the privacy rule. Head back to our design. And over here, we are going to set auto binding. So if you notice, there is a check box over here in each and every input field that is to enable auto binding. So once you click on this, the field to modify is going to be bootcamp name. This one is going to be again bootcamp price. There we go. Then we have enrollment type. Again, allow auto binding. This is going to be enrollment type. Duration again is going to be duration. Location type over here. Allow auto binding. Fields to modify location type. We also had two other fields, so let's set auto binding for those as well. Again, allow auto binding. This field is going to be the URL. There we go. Location. This is the one. Location. Allow auto binding. Location. Status. Tagline. Where's tagline? Ah, there he is. There we go. And for our overview as well, allow auto binding, and this is going to be overview. Whew. There we go. Now let's do one thing. Let's just get rid of the booking boot camps that we have over here. Let's delete these two. Let's create a new one. And before that, I just want to do one thing over here. I want to add a button. I'm just gonna add this in this group. Make this first. Back. Let's add a workflow. Navigate the user, go to previous page. There we go. Let's test this out. Let's get back. You know what? Bear with me, guys. All right. So let's create a new bootcamp. This is going to be UI design bootcamp Europe. I'm just going to use a dummy text over here as tagline. Click on next. There we go. Oh, we do need to set up the. We made one huge mistake over here. We are using image field, but instead of this, we should be using a picture uploader. My bad. Let's drop this over here. Featured image. Again, auto binding, featured image. Click on layout. Uncheck fixed width. Min width is going to be 0. Height. Let's make this. Let's see the height in the Figma file. 400. Damn, that's way too big. You know what? Let's stick with 400 and let's get rid of this. This thing is fine. All right. Now let's refresh this. Let's also edit this. Let's add our border color. Let's use our, you know what, let's use our secondary text color, but let's add an opacity of 50. Let's see how this looks. Much better. Let's also add a border. 6 works good. All right, now let's test this out. We have tagline, we have name over here. Let's upload a photo from asset file. Just search for UI design bootcamp. Is this the one? Yeah. It's going to take some time to load, but that's fine. Let's set up the price, which is 19. Part-time duration is going to be 8 weeks. Location is going to be online. Let's just enter a dummy. And I'm just going to copy this one over here. Just paste this over here. Status is upcoming. By default, we have set this as upcoming, and over here, I'm just going to show you how this works. We have text over here. Let's put this over here. I can make it bold, make it large. There we go. Change the font size as well. I can't find enter though. And let's copy the second part as well. There we go. So this will get automatically saved in the backend. So if we check our backend over here, there we go, 8 weeks. There we have part-time. If I click over here, see, works like charm. There we go. Let's check for tools. Tool image. Over here you can use the files that I have given. I'm just going to enter Figma over here. I'm going to use this one. Add. There we go. Let's add one more. Let's add Framer. I think we had Framer. Oh, we had Loom. Let's go ahead and add Loom. We're going to change this. Where is Loom? Here he is. Add. Let's add one more. Notion. Notion. Let's also copy paste the description. Add. Let's head over to agenda. Oh yeah, we haven't set that thing up. That's going to be your home assignment. But over here, let's do this. I'm going to use Figma. This is going to be. I'm just going to use this one week 0. Save again Figma. It's going to be week 2. There we go. So it's populating. Let's check for teams. So we have Max over here. Let's add Matthew as well. Boom. There we go. Matthew is added. Inclusion. Let's add inclusion. We offer live Figma classes. You can now to intimidate. If I click on delete, there we go. So yeah, so we are overall done with our day 5 task that we had. We have successfully designed edit bootcamp page and set privacy rules. So on day 6, we are going to design a landing page. That's this one. Pretty simple. Same thing that we used today. And you just have to set few repeating groups, and after that we are going to set up our Stripe. So I'll see you there. Do like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, do let me know in the comments, or you can just drop me a message on my website, that is Bill No Code Hustle. So I'll see you there.